Welcome to today's Explainer. Today, we are unpacking an absolutely fantastic growth strategy, goal setting for the introverted professional. Look, if you've ever felt like your natural, thoughtful working style is just completely clashing with a really loud corporate culture, stick around. We're going to explore exactly how you can build your career and become quietly confident, all without changing a single thing about who you wonderfully are. Let's dive in.
So let me ask you a question right off the bat. Does your goal setting actually force you to try and change your personality? You know exactly what I mean. We've all heard it from that well-meaning mentor, right? You just need to be louder. It is so exhausting. But here is the good news. Really effective goal setting, it isn't about altering your DNA. It's about taking the amazing tools you already have and using them strategically. Which brings us to section 1, the extrovert workplace myths. See, there is this incredibly pervasive myth out there that success absolutely has to look loud, fast, and highly visible. But think about it. Instead of an exhausting volume-based goal, like say, I need to speak more in every single meeting, try shifting to a contribution focus. Make one meaningful contribution in every important meeting. It's such a game changer. It actually honors your depth, your careful preparation, and your profound analysis way more than sheer volume ever could.
Okay, so how do we actually put this into practice? Well, we use this awesome 5-step goal-setting model. It's basically a structured growth strategy designed specifically to transform all that quiet, behind-the-scenes effort into highly visible success. So let's walk through each step together. Step 1. You need to ask yourself, what value do I really want to create at work? This is all about anchoring your goals in the specific, natural value that you already bring to the table. You don't have to be the charismatic entertainer. No way. Maybe your natural superpower is being the ultimate problem solver. Or maybe you're great at improving processes, bringing clarity to super chaotic situations, or just quietly developing deep expertise. Just pick one area. For example, saying, I want to become known for simplifying complex work is an incredibly powerful anchor.
Moving right along to section 2, the 10% stretch. Now, a 10% stretch shouldn't feel terrifying. Actually, scratch that. It should feel entirely safe. If you literally never speak in meetings, your stretch isn't suddenly leading the whole meeting. It's just committing to speak once. If you normally avoid presentations like the plague, just present one tiny section. If you don't ever ask for feedback, well, ask just one trusted person. These little micro steps act as a comforting safety net for steady growth. The whole thought process is just, okay, this is a little uncomfortable, but I can definitely do it.
And that takes us to section 3, creating visible workplace wins.
So a workplace win fundamentally shifts your focus away from behavior and onto actual outcomes. For instance, a goal like I will network more is basically a vague, unending nightmare for an introvert, right? Like, where does it even end? But framing it as I will build one meaningful professional relationship this month, wow, that replaces all that draining pressure with a clear, achievable finish line that actually leans right into your natural strength for one-on-one connection. It's the same thing with setting a goal to improve my visibility. That is way too vague. I mean, how do you even measure that? Do you just stand up and wave your arms around the office? Definitely don't do that. Instead, convert it into a concrete workplace win, like I will document and communicate 3 useful contributions this month. Converting a vague, scary goal into a concrete, measurable outcome gives you a definitive finish line. You hit it, and you're done. Which brings us right into step 4, create an evidence target. Look, as an introverted professional, you are probably already contributing a massive amount behind the scenes. You're doing the research, fixing the bugs, smoothing out those clunky workflows. You just need to set a target to actually measure that work. Let's say your goal is to improve team productivity. Your evidence could be creating a tracker that reduces follow-up time. Then you just share that result. You literally turn your incredible, invisible effort into visible evidence of capability. That is how you get the credit you absolutely deserve. All right, section 4, building your professional identity. This is where it gets really fun. Look back at the bigger picture after about 30 to 90 days of doing this. What are you repeatedly becoming good at? Are your wins consistently showing that you create clarity out of chaos? Or maybe you're realizing you are the absolute go-to person for anticipating risks before they even happen. Over time, you organically discover your own professional, unique selling proposition. You aren't just the quiet one anymore. You actually become known as the systems optimizer or the risk mitigator. To make all of this super actionable, here is a fantastic goal-setting template that ties the whole process together into a repeating cycle for success. It's got the whole shebang. You simply define your workplace value, your 10% stretch, your workplace win, your evidence, your visibility action, what you learned, and finally, your next stretch. Let's actually walk through a real-world example from our source material to see how this plays out. Say your value is creating clarity. Your stretch is to speak once per key meeting. Your win is summarizing the decisions made, and your visibility action is simply sharing that summary with the team afterward via email or chat. It is a highly effective, incredibly practical framework for everyday work life, and it's totally unintimidating.
Now for Section 5, the quiet confidence transformation. As you keep at it, these small stretches naturally snowball into a massive career transformation. It's like a chain reaction. A thoughtful contribution leads to a 10% action. That action creates a workplace win, which generates tangible evidence. That evidence builds your confidence. Confidence naturally leads to visibility. Visibility results in recognition. And finally, recognition opens the door right up to new opportunity. It really is that simple. I really want to leave you with a core takeaway from our source material today. The objective here is never to force extroversion. The goal is to become a quietly confident professional whose value is increasingly visible. You hear that? You literally never need to become an extrovert to succeed or be a superstar at work. You just need to let your natural strengths be seen.
So let's wrap up with this. What will your 10% stretch be tomorrow? Will you ask one question or maybe share one quick summary? But honestly, I want you to think about something even bigger. How much untapped potential is your company missing out on right now simply because they are only listening to the loudest voices in the room? Think about it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer, and until next time, keep growing.